Game on.
Hey there, game gurus. Welcome back to the channel. I got a package in the mail today from my friend Jeff, who makes some 3D printed enhancement items for the MyArcade machines. Now you can see right here is a MyArcade Contra. Now it's a nice little machine. It plays good. And the cool thing about this model is you can link to them together for two players. That's not what we're going to be talking about today. I took my Space Invaders, I'll put the video link over here, where you could turn your Space Invaders like this to become something like this, which is really fantastic. He makes a new stand and artwork. And that's what we're going to be doing today with the Contra. It's his next kit. He's going to be making some other kits as well, but let's take a look at, well, how we're going to turn this little guy into the brother of this really cool Space Invaders one right here. Let's get started. Okay, we can see what comes in the kit. It's just a couple of items. We have the stand itself right here, and some new side art that'll be placed on the side of the Contra unit right here to turn this little guy into the brother of this little guy. And I love this. MyArcade, it's got the mirror effect inside. A whole video on it already. I'll put a link down below if you want to see the assembly on this one. But there were some things I didn't like about it. One of the things I didn't like was the original design was it just sat on top of the base and used the artwork to hold it on. And it probably would have held on okay, but I like it more secure. So I ended up using some glue. I glued it and double-sided taped it onto the base and then put the artwork on, just because I wanted it to be one more solid mass. So we took some things I said into consideration. And you can see right here on this one, there are a couple of screw holes. So you can now screw into the bottom of the unit. Now to do that, you're going to have to screw into the bottom of this little guy right here. And you can see in the pictures I have over here, from opening this guy up, it's okay to put some screws in. It's not going to hit anything inside the machine, so it'll be just fine. But there's spots in here for the feet that are on the machine, a couple screw holes, and you can see you can access it all down inside here. It's all open in the bottom. Now on the original one, that was, you can see, all completely sealed and closed. So that's one small adjustment. I think overall it's for the better, because I want to be able to, you know, make sure it's one solid piece, not come apart from the artwork, put stress on the artwork. But let's put it together. Again, it's not a lot of things to do. It's basically going to put this little guy on top of here like this. You don't have to, but I'm going to screw mine together to one solid piece. And then you can put on your side artwork, and we're ready to go. So I'm going to get started on that. Now, I've already, before I started doing this part right here, I already turned this thing over. I got it in the right spot. You can see I made two small drill holes in the bottom in here. And now, he doesn't include any screws in there. It shouldn't be too hard to get screws, but it might be nice for him to include a couple of screws just in case. Just so you know, the kit right here, which is going to be the stand, the two pieces of artwork, shipping, and the shipping was done extremely well. It was a big box, lots of packing materials in there, is $50. So it's going to be $50 shipped to you anywhere in the USA with all this here. And the shipping, again, is free, but that's no screws are included. So that's something you're going to have to supply, and of course, I got a lot of screws loose, so I have no problem putting in. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to get this thing mounted. I'm going to screw this thing together to be one solid piece. And then we'll start putting in the artwork. Again, it's not a hard thing to do. It just takes a few minutes. Let's get started. So it's always good to have things like this lying around. I got this off Amazon. It's just a bunch of screws. I'm going to use these M3 14 by 7mm screws. I have a whole bunch of them here, and they're already black. So there's a couple of screws. Nothing too crazy. So I'm just going to turn this thing over and put the screws in. Again, I already basically used a drill to make the holes. I'm going to get another shot again, just so you can see the two holes I made in there. And I basically did that was, I simply mounted this on like here, held it together, and I took a drill and I went inside and I made the two incision holes. So I'm going to go right now and just line this guy up. You can see there's rubber feet on here already, and there's spots in here for them. Just going to line them up pretty good, best I can, in the little slots, like so. As you can see, that's it. I'm going to turn it upside down, and let's go put the screws in. So I think I may actually, you know what, I think I may put the screw in first, just because to get them started, to make it a little bit easier, because it's going to be, I think, a little hard to do after the fact. So I'm just going to take a screw, find the hole, here we go, and just get it started. Now again, this is using PLA, which is a 3D printed material, so you have to be not super careful, but again, you want to make sure you don't ruin this thing at all when doing this. I'm just going to turn the screw just enough, just to get it to where it's just sticking my finger a little bit. just like so. And I'll do the same to the other one over here. Just get it started. Again, there's other things you could probably do. Maybe using some good magnets, something like that. Again, I like my stuff permanently attached. You may not like that, but again, once you put the side artwork on here, it's really not going to come off anyway. So I prefer using this method right here. I'm going to take some extra of this PLA out of the way that we're not going to need once we started the holes here. Okay, so you can see my screws are just sticking out just a little bit on these sides here. I can turn a little bit by my hand as well, just to get it started. And now I'm going to take my unit and make sure I get that one side marked to the front. That little spot right here marked to make sure it was in the front. And I'm just going to line this thing up as best I can without dropping anything, of course. Okay, once you have your two pieces together, just hold it together tight. And I'm going to turn this over as best I can. And just tighten my screws. Okay, once that's done, you can see how easy that was. I got my base all set right there, all attached, ready for artwork. So let's get started on the artwork. Now for me, when I attach artwork, I use a little tape right here. And what I basically do is line this thing up as best I can. And then I'm going to secure it with tape on one side, peel it off, and then work on the artwork. So this does take a little time, because I like it to be pretty straight. Get it to where we're happy. Now I'll just take a couple pieces of tape. And all I'm going to do is just basically use the tape to hold the artwork on a spot so I can start putting it down the proper way. And again, I'm just going to put this piece of tape down just for a second. Double check my lining up to where I'm happy. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to take a piece of tape and use the tape just to hold where the artwork is right now. So that'll help keep it lined up. As I go up here, I'm going to cut off some of the backing, lay it down, and then it should stay exactly where I want it to be. So I'm going to go up here and start peeling off the backing. Okay, once you get it started, I can take that, I can just cut this piece off, like so. And then just line it up again. Lay it down just like that. And then you can remove your tape on the sides, down here, and finish the job on that side. You take your time, come all the way down. Now you can see how easy that was. Now I will say, the paper it's using, you can see the old artwork below it. So you have to leave the artwork on to keep it smooth, but the other artwork's here, so maybe he can move the artwork up or change the artwork a little bit, but you can see the old artwork on the side right here, so that's something I would like to see changed in the future, because that doesn't look so good on it right there. I'll get a little closer, you can kind of see that, but we'll get working on the other side and see how it turns out. Get our artwork right here, line it up, and again, here's the artwork already here. But when we put this thing on, it looks like it may still bleed through on the other side. But let's see when we line this thing up here again. Got to get a couple pieces of tape to hold it down. Get this thing lined up. Okay, if it looks pretty good, do the same thing. Couple pieces of tape just to hold it in place. And we'll do the same thing we did here, just get the rest of that paper off. And just very carefully bring it all down so you don't get any bubbles. Okay, you can see how easy that was, although again we still have the bleed through of the old artwork, so I don't know how we can fix that. Maybe it can make the artwork a little bit higher to cover up where the old artwork is, but it does show through there. Okay, you can see how simple that was. It didn't, just basically a few minutes to install, and it looks very good. The only drawback I can see right now is the white side artwork is letting the old artwork bleed through. I'm not sure how we can fix that. Okay, so here's the finished product right now. We have it on the stand. It is attached with screws, and it looks really good as far as being now a 1/6 scale machine. The only issue I had really was on the side. You can see right here the artwork, the old artwork is bleeding through the new vinyl artwork on here. And I brought that up to Jeffrey and he agreed. So he's going to send me out some new artwork here. And I also made a couple of suggestions for here and here, which we'll show you, well, when I get the new artwork. Okay, it's been about a month, I think, roughly. And the machine's been sitting here ready to go. Now, my particular machine, this always bugged me. When I got it, you can kind of see it right here. This is all damaged under here, which is why I wanted to put some new artwork on here. Now, so what I suggested he do is, I made these just on regular paper here. A little piece of artwork that kind of looked like the jungle. And it would be putting on like right here. And right here. And that solves my problem with the artwork there. And I think that looks, you know, Contra jungle. I think that looks pretty good. And then I had another idea. What if we put some artwork down here as well, so it looks kind of nifty? So these are the little additions I had, and Jeffrey kind of agreed and made these. Now, the one thing I will say is I made it bigger because I need to cover damage. Now, these are the ones he sent here, and they're a little bit smaller, but they fit perfectly on the black glossy spots right there. But for myself, I'm going to be using mine that I made because I need to cover the damage. If I use these here, I guess it would kind of cover it. Get this thing out of the way as best I can. And, you know, if I do put this on here, it kind of covers it. Let me get this one out of the way for now. Come out of here. Now, I got to really cover that damage area. You can kind of see right there. If I take the joystick out of the way, kind of see it a little bit better. Now, this is just what I received from good old Amazon. You can see that's all like damaged, scratched, everything right there. And I guess this would, I guess in theory, you know, cover it. Maybe I'll just try that. I don't know. I do think I liked my larger one because I just think it, for me personally, so I'm not quite sure. But this is the one he made, which, again, for people who don't have any damage to their machine, that may actually be okay. I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm still out on that one. So in any case, what I'm going to have to do is remove this old artwork here, again, because it is, you know, it's bleeding through, and he agreed that that doesn't look too well. So we'll do that. You can see underneath here, there's a couple of screws I put in down there, and that makes it one solid piece. So let me get this artwork off of here. I'm going to put on the new artwork, and then we'll see how this thing really looks. Okay, we got the decals off. I'm just going to get a little rubbing alcohol and just clean this off to make it, well, less tacky. And we'll put on the new artwork. Okay, so now we're just going to put on the artwork. Again, it's just really very simple. It's self-adhesive on the back. Just find out where you find your center is. When you're happy with it, use a couple pieces of tape just to lock in one spot, and then you can fold it and put it on. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I can tell you right now that looks much better already. I can't see anything on there, but let me finish the artwork. But this particular vinyl is like a thicker laminate, I guess, underneath. But that's covering that artwork just perfectly. So let me finish up this artwork and we'll take a look at it when it's done. Okay, once you're happy with where the artwork is, again, I taped it down, as you can see, and there's little spots right here to put some tape. But once you're happy with it, then we can start removing the underlayment and put it down. You want to use the tape on here so when you start putting this down, it doesn't shift on you. And I'm pretty happy with where this is, so I'm going to go up here again, peel off a spot. And I'll show you real quick. This is, you see it's got like a gray, try and get this so you guys can see a little bit better. It's gray, much thicker, not so transparent as the other one was. So let me shift this a little bit this way. You can kind of see that a little bit better. That's a much thicker gray that will hide the underlaying artwork you see right here, which the other one didn't do too well. So let's just do the same thing here. I'm going to just peel this off right about here. Okay, so since we have the sides done over here, and it came out much, much better, hid all the artwork down there, it came out much, much better. So the next thing I'm going to put on is this here, and this was actually an idea I had, and I think it's going to look pretty good right there. So with the same principle, we'll put a piece of tape down once we have it where we want it, and we'll just peel this off and mount it. Always have Scotch tape around. You can never not have a use for Scotch tape. I think it looks really good right there. Now, I probably don't need it really for the bottom part here, but just a habit. I think that looks pretty sharp. Okay, now yours may not be messed up like mine is in this one spot here. So the ones he included here, to kind of just go with the artwork I put on here, I made these two here. I would have liked it a little bit bigger, you know, to really cover up that area. But I'm going to give this one a try, and I can always change out later. But this is what he does include. So let me find the right spot for this, tape it, and put these on. to admit, it makes a huge difference with the artwork, the 3D printed base. This is basically 1/6 scale at this point. Same size as my GRS Build-A-Cade and the New Wave Toys machines are 1/6 scale. So if you wanted a Contra in that size scale, this, for $50, you get the base, you get all the artwork on here. This actually looks pretty good. I'm actually, I think I may leave it that way. It covers up my scratches enough, I think. And, you know, the artwork on here is smooth. It's not going to, like, wash away from touching it, just like the old artwork did, which is really, really good. And, of course, it's solid. It's, you know, one piece, which is something else I'm happy with. And, of course, if you didn't have it already, he also makes a kit for the MyArcade Space Invaders. And this thing's really cool, looks really great with it. And, of course, it also has that really awesome mirror effect. We could see the invaders over the planet on there. But I think both of these together look spectacular. And, again, if you collect the New Wave Toys or my GRS Build-A-Cades, these are going to fit right along that size. And, again, these are kits about $50. And I have one more kit I'm doing a video on, which would be the MyArcade Street Fighter game, and that'll be coming up shortly. But, you know, I'll put links down below if you guys are interested in the base and artwork for the Space Invaders MyArcade, the Contra MyArcade, which I think this really, really pops a lot better. If this was just black on the bottom, kind of like we have, you know, on the back, it was just too plain, I thought. It just really didn't add to that jungle theme. And then tying in the sides here, which are just black as well, it just makes it look flow all the way down unit control. I think that looks sharp as hell. But I'll put a link down below to Jeffrey, who makes these kits. And until next time, again, this is fun. It wasn't hard to do. It really was a fun little project. But these things are still fun in games, which is great. But they don't take place of your family and friends. Make sure you always tell your family and friends you love them, because tomorrow is never promised. But in between those times, look at that. Game on.
Are you looking for that arcade experience at home? If you don't have the space for a full-size arcade in your house or endless funds, then you need the GRS Build-A-Cade. It's arcade quality without the arcade price, from someone you can trust. The GRS Build-A-Cade is a very simple, easy to assemble, 1/6 scale arcade computer you can build yourself. You can buy interchangeable controllers for every gaming option you need to play the games the way they're meant to be played. You can also design your own artwork or purchase artwork separately to make your GRS Build-A-Cade look like the machine of your dreams. The GRS Build-A-Cade is also the only home system STEM certified. Come see what all the YouTube creators are raving about. GRS Build-A-Cade.
Game on. Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.